Okay, I'm reloaded.
Smoking blunts, I swear the dope stuck to my lip. I'm always on time, that's why I got it on my wrist. You can't really like me for boy, but I know you wish. Every time I shoot this ball, I swear it never miss. Pockets full, that's why I swear to keep my pants up. Spending all this money on my bitches, getting pampered. Money on my body, I'm no fucking Green Lantern. I feel this motherfucker out the lot, ain't got no manners.
What's up, everybody? My name is Keaton Good, and welcome to episode 5 of Keaton Talks Sports. I'm going to start off today's episode like every episode. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Like, comment, and subscribe. But let's just get right into it. In today's video that you are going to be watching right now, we're going to go over, obviously, what happened in the Super Bowl, because that just ended. And we'll do a Super Bowl prediction for next year, Super Bowl 61, that is guaranteed to be right. There's no way it could go wrong. There's no way. But that being said, like I just said, the Super Bowl just happened. Seattle wins 29-13. And we're going to start today's episode off with the greatest segment ever created. It's back. Who's oh, and who's ga? Yeah! Super Bowl Edition. And we're going to start off with who's coming in at number 5. Number 5 and number 4, a little bit of quota fillers, but number 5 is going to be, give me a little drum roll, the people who paid tickets. Imagine you fly all the way across the country. If you're a Seahawks fan, you're excluded from this. But if you're not, and you paid, even for the cheap tickets, $8,000 to go watch this football game, I'm sorry. This game did not pick up until well into the fourth quarter, and it turned into a blowout. The Patriots looked like shit. Both offenses did not look good at all up until the fourth quarter. If you paid tickets to go see this game and you are watching this video, I'm sorry. I would say I would reimburse you. I don't got it like that. So if you paid tickets to go to this game and you are not a Seattle Seahawks fan, you are number 4. Again, this one's a little bit of a quota filler. Don't shoot the messenger. Number 4 on who's is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, this is Super Bowl only, so don't come at me. But he did only go 4 receptions for 27 yards as the Offensive Player of the Year. He had 10 targets, which one of them all on Darnold. I mean, JSN could have had a touchdown, should have had a touchdown early in the game. Didn't get it. And he did get hurt as well, so I'm not putting much on JSN. This is, like I said, kind of a quota filler. But he does, unfortunately, make the who's list. But the top 3, what everybody has been waiting for, the top 3 on who's Number 3 on who's is the New England Patriots rushing offense. Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson combined, you can throw Drake May in there as well. They accounted for 79 yards of rushing offense, which you probably think, that's not that bad. It's decent. It's not good, but it's not that bad. Well, when I tell you this, Bad Bunny at halftime, he had 124 yards covered. The Patriots got outrushed by Bad Bunny, and Bad Bunny only did it in the halftime show. You got outrushed by Bad Bunny. In the Super Bowl. And that was one of their best options this postseason, was the rushing attack, and Seattle shut that down. And like I said, New England got outrushed by Bad Bunny. Just think about that. I'm going to give you a second. Outrushed by Bad Bunny during his halftime show. He covered 124.4 yards, and the Patriots covered 79. Yikes. Doesn't seem so good. But the top two, and I'm sure you can kind of guess who's going to be in the top two, but what order am I going to have them in? Number 2 on Who's Ah and Who is Ga. Number 2 on Who's Ah is Drake May. Drake, May, Drake, May, Drake, May. However you want to slice it, that dude was buns. And I will say why he does come in at number 2 is I do believe he was playing injured. When you watched quite a few of his throws, they just didn't have that same velocity, didn't have the same zip. They said something pre-game about his shoulder being hurt, so I could definitely see that. But man, doesn't save you. You're supposed to be an MVP candidate. You are 1 vote away from winning the MVP, and you show up in the Super Bowl with 2 picks and a fumble. The MVP candidate this year in the NFC Championship game in Seattle, he threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Drake May got to play them on a neutral ground. Didn't do it. Didn't get the job done. This postseason, he had 21 sacks, 6 touchdowns, and 8 turnovers with a negative 29 EPA per play, which is the worst of any QB in the postseason with 3+ starts since the year 2000. Now you're probably sitting here thinking, that's not that far. That's not that long ago. That's 26 years now. 26 years. The worst QB in the postseason in 26 years is Drake May. He is young, obviously. He has plenty of time to fix it, but that does not save him from the criticism. I see a lot of people using that to save these guys from criticism. It does not. You made it to the grandest stage of them all. You said that the easy schedule and everything didn't matter, yada, yada, yada. And then this happens. So Drake May, you are number 2 though. You're not number 1. We have a special number 1. You can probably guess who that is. Number 1 on Who's Ah Super Bowl Edition, Will Campbell. I'll be honest, I've been a Will Campbell hater. I really don't like this dude at all. I don't like how he handles himself. I don't like how cocky he is for an offensive lineman. And the first time you hear some of the stuff he says, you're kind of like, okay, this guy's spitting. And then he keeps going, and he keeps going, and he keeps going. And you're like, okay, the way that this dude talks, he better be the best offensive lineman in the NFL. Like, the way that this dude talks.
Offensive line.
I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got. One thing we live by in the O-line room, a D lineman get 1 sack a game, and that's the only thing he can do. 12 games, he'll be a top 5 pick. You give up 1 sack a game for 12 games, you're going to work at Amazon. Nothing.
And he wasn't. 14 pressures allowed in the Super Bowl, which is the most by any player at all this season. Think about that for a second. There were some really bad offensive linemen playing this season. And Will Campbell in the Super Bowl, when Seattle blitzed 4 most of the time, he still allowed 14 pressures himself. This dude is ass. This dude, he's a rookie. He has plenty of time to turn it around. But for the time being, he is ass. And when he got drafted, there was a lot of questions like, oh, will he be able to handle himself at tackle? Doesn't have long arms. And he was like, no shot, I'm moving to guard. There's no way I'd ever do that. Now look where we are. He was getting bull rushed. He was getting bullied all postseason. So like I said, 29 total pressures in the postseason from Will Campbell. which is the most in any postseason ever. And to top it off, the little cherry on top, after the Super Bowl, after that disastrous performance, Will Campbell declines the media multiple times and leaves. While the rest of his teammates are doing media, doing interviews, even though they just lost the Super Bowl, he leaves. Come on. That is what it takes to give you number 1 on the Who's Ah list. Now, enough negativity. We don't need a ton of that. Let's go to the highly coveted Who's Gah list. Short for gas, by the way. Who is Gah? Super Bowl edition. This one was really tough. Honorable mention, Mike Macdonald. I didn't quite have enough room for him. Mike Macdonald, fantastic head coach. His defense. If you like watching defenses, Mike Macdonald's defense is so good. They know where your weaknesses are. They know what you're not good at, and they will exploit that, and they will dominate you. Sheer force. But that being said, kind of branching off of that, number 5 on Who's Gah is the defenses for this game. A lot of people don't like defensive showdowns, but I'll be honest, the defenses were very entertaining. New England's defense stepped up time and time again until they literally couldn't anymore because their offense played so poorly. But the Seattle defense is relentless. And I want to give a special shout out to Nick Amenwari. Keep in mind, this dude had a high sprained ankle and played all but 1 defensive snaps. That dude is a rookie, and he is a fucking demon. I mean, he is a monster. If you want a guy, like, I think Nick Amenwari, this is going to be a hot take. Nick Amenwari, because of his age and how he's played this year, he could start on every single NFL team, every single defense. Any defensive coordinator would love to have this guy somewhere on their defense, somewhere. Whether he's playing safety, slot corner, Mike linebacker, doesn't matter. This dude seemingly can play everywhere. Fuck, throw him at boundary corner. I mean, at this point, you might as well try it. Throw him at D-end. I don't know what you could do to neutralize this guy. He's a ball hawk. He kind of reminds me a bit of Troy Polamalu, except he's bigger than Troy was. This dude, Nick Amenwari, is a demon. I can't get enough of him, and he's a Super Bowl champion in his rookie year. A lot of comparisons to Cam Chancellor, and I'll be honest, this is going to sound crazy. I think Amenwari is more versatile than Chancellor was. Chancellor was amazing, but Earl Thomas handled a lot of the coverage. Amenwari does both. He straps up in man coverage. He's a hard hitter. He's a fantastic tackler. This dude deserves his own special shout out. Now that I'm saying it, he should have been moved up to number 1 on Who's Gah. But he's going to be slotted in at number 5. I'm at number 4. We're going to give a special shout out to the man that could have won Super Bowl MVP, Jason Myers. The Seahawks kicker went 5 for 5 from field goals and 2 for 2 for extra points. 17 kicking points, which outscored New England by himself. If it wasn't for someone we'll get to later, Jason Myers could have won Super Bowl MVP. I think he was clinical from the spot. Weren't any like super long kicks, but you still got to kick them, and he made them, and he did great. Jason Myers, just had to get a little bit of a special shout out there for him. Number 3 on Who's Gah is, it's not all bad for New England, Christian Gonzalez. Like I mentioned earlier with the defenses, they were just phenomenal, and the standout in New England was Christian Gonzalez. This dude only had 2 targets the whole game, and both of them were amazing pass breakups. He almost had an interception on the goal line to end the half. Christian Gonzalez was shut down, locked down on no matter who he was covering, or whether he was covering Kupp, or whether he was covering JSN before he got hurt. It didn't matter. And with Christian Gonzalez, with a guy like him, whether he's in the boundary or on the slot, you just can't look that way. Like, you just genuinely can't look that way if you're the QB. Why would you? You know he's blanketing. He was covering Shaheed on that deep ball down the middle, and it was like, it's Shaheed. He's going to burn him. Gonzalez levitates. He goes airborne. Bink! Nope, no catch. This dude, Christian Gonzalez, is an absolute demon, and I'm very excited to see what Vrabel is able to build out of this defense, because he can just continue to build around Gonzalez, and it looks like you could just give him a blank check and write whatever number he wants on there and let it go. Number 2 for who's guy is Sam Darnold. Didn't have the best Super Bowl performance at all, but you know what? He won. And winners, hey, they get to write history. Sam Darnold won. And that's all that matters. The first quarterback out of that 2018 draft class to win a Super Bowl, to even make a Super Bowl. Sam Darnold did it. And again, what he did all season, he did what he had to do to win the football game. And that's what got done. The football game was won. Let's see Rose's opinion here. Rose, what's your opinion on Sam Darnold? Really? What else? I told you she's camera shy. Well, she just said that Sam Darnold is the best quarterback from the 2018 class. And you know what, Rose? I'm gonna say you're wrong, but not that wrong. Like, obviously Allen and Lamar, but Darnold's got a ring. What do you think? Really? Okay. Now, it is time for the highly coveted, honestly, more coveted than winning Super Bowl MVP, the highly coveted number 1 slot for the Super Bowl edition of Who's Ga goes to none other than the Super Bowl MVP himself, Kenneth Walker. K9, 135 yards, and he really showed what he can do when given the opportunities. People forget early in his career and when he was at Michigan State, this dude was an absolute demon. And then once Seattle drafted Charbonnet, Walker's touches have been cut in half, basically, and he hasn't been able to have that same sort of production, even though he still produces. But this guy could be top 4, top 5 running back in the league as far as numbers are concerned. But he hasn't been given the opportunity. Charbonnet, unfortunately, tears his ACL, and Kenneth Walker is able to absolutely eat in his absence, absolutely dominates in the playoffs, and then continues that and follows it up with a Super Bowl MVP. Wow. And also keep in mind, too, he had this playoff performance, and he is about to become a free agent. I mean, doing it on the contract year is like a myth in sports, but he did it. I mean, the way that guys are able to show up when they know they need to get paid, Kenneth Walker just did that. You could not increase your stock more than this postseason run that he's had in absolutely carrying the Seattle offense. Kenneth Walker wraps it up with Super Bowl MVP. And that is Who's short for ass, and Who's Ga, short for gas. It'll catch on, I promise you that. That'll do it for the Super Bowl edition. But now we transition into who will be in Super Bowl 61. You ask me, and I deliver. It will be the greatest Super Bowl of all time. And it will be the Chiefs versus the Chicago Bears. Stamp it. If you're a betting man, place the bet right now. Place it right now. And why I say that is because after bad Super Bowls recently, we get bangers. after the Panthers-Broncos Super Bowl where Cam Newton did dive on the fumble. Well, that's a legendary moment. That Super Bowl sucked. The year after, you know what we got? Patriots-Falcons. The Brady 28-3 comeback. An absolute banger. Then we had Rams-Patriots a couple years after that, which again, snooze fest. But you know what we got after that? Was the first Chiefs and 49ers Super Bowl, which was a banger. The Jimmy G overthrow, Damian Williams legacy game. So I'm saying that we will get our version, this generation's version of the Brady versus Mahomes Super Bowl. We're getting it in Mahomes versus Caleb Williams. We're getting it early on, and it will be an absolute banger. The biggest piece for both teams is, of course, going to be health. Chicago, I think, is set up very, very nicely for the future. Kansas City, this draft, only having 7 picks. They need to make big moves. No cap space at all. They're going to be heavily, heavily reliant on Mahomes. But with Eric Bieniemy back, that offense is going to be disciplined like we saw before. It is going to be able to be exciting like we saw before. It will not be boring. And we are going to get the current GOAT, the current generation's GOAT versus the baby GOAT and Caleb Williams. We saw the same thing with Brady when he played against Mahomes, whether it was in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. We saw that. The current GOAT or the overall GOAT versus baby GOAT, and now we're just passing it down through generations. I promise you that will be the Super Bowl. Book it right now. Come back to this video in almost 300 days from now, and you will see that I was right, and I've always been right. But that will do it for today's episode, or for this YouTube video, I should say, that you're watching. I appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your Super Bowl prediction for next year down below. Do you think I was too harsh on the who's ah and who's gas and who's ga list? Let me know. And that will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.